IT workers of Reddit, what is the most enraging and idiotic thing a non-techie has told you? I've worked in IT for a few years now, and have been messing with computers of my own, fixing them for friends as far back as I can remember. I understand that not everyone is good with computers. If they were, I wouldn't have a job. I have no problem helping people through things, giving them information, fixing things, etc. What I do have a problem with is people who mess their crap up and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about when I tell them how to fix it, how I fixed it. Oh, yeah, your hard drive is completely corrupt. If you listen, you can actually hear it grinding on the inside there. There's nothing I can reasonably do to fix that, but I need my files. I'm sorry, the drive is physically broken. I can't recover anything from it. I thought you were good with computers. I'm just telling you what I found out. Well, it wasn't that bad before I brought it to you. You broke IT. Frick these people. Someone once came into our retail store and asked to buy a windproof router because the wind keeps blowing my Wi-Fi signal away. Pretty sure my eyes started bleeding. Person, the game won't run. It's telling me I need to update my graphics card drivers if I want to play. What should I do? Me, update your graphics card drivers. Person, okay, thanks. This woman called my college help desk, a professor, and she told me her dead brother-in-law was controlling her PC. She also wanted to tell me that she is not crazy. Turns out her batteries were going in her wireless mouse and the cursor was just moving around, kinda funny. Mom, you were just logged into GhostToMeeting this whole time. 64-year colleague, I've just had it with this computer. I can't even find the internet. Me, you're using it right now to see your Gmail. Colleague, no, this is my Google. I need the internet. My boss said I needed to use the real Microsoft Word yesterday. The other day, the office manager was trying to send out a message on our mailing list program. She said, how do I create a new email? I said, see at the top, where it says create email. Oh, where do I put in the email name? I said, see at the top, where it says email name. Oh, where do I select which email list to send it to? I said, see at the top, where it says email list, and on and on and on. For 20 minutes. The instructions are all right there, I swear. Half the time these people act like my job is to read things to them. Some people just make silly mistakes. I'm pretty sure I googled Google before. Those things never hurt anyone. I once worked for someone who didn't think that IT needed access to network drives to back them up, etc. It's so much more dangerous when you can't do your job. Also, she read some book about lean and IT, and only took some weird amalgamation of streamlining software to reduce the number of mouse clicks. So, our test scripts literally counted mouse clicks and I had to recode modules because there were too many touches. So, instead of making intuitive interfaces, I had to worry about clicks. I wish I were kidding. People rate by the weirdest standards. I had a boss that prided himself on never touching a computer. Web TV was the greatest thing ever, so the company website had to be built around Web TV. Also insisted on having a god-awful MIDI file playing on the website. I had to fake take down notice emails from the RIAA to get him to finally remove it. I don't get mad at people not knowing things anymore. That's fine. Really, the things that miff me these days are, it's not my job to learn how to do that. Oh, I'm computer illiterate. Computers hate me. That kind of thing. Externalizing the problems and not taking ownership of the fact that working with technology is part of your job, and using the I'm not a computer person excuse to remain willfully ignorant. I did recently have a user screenshot a problem, paste it into Word, and then fax it to me to open a ticket. That was pretty funny. During a large-scale worm outbreak several years ago, the building one of our guys was working damaged control and lost power. It was during a severe thunderstorm. One of our users looked at him, wide-eyed, and shakily asked, Did the virus do that? The last one is great, hahaha. I hope he went like it has control of the building. Get out now. I rebooted. No, you didn't. Your PC takes 2 minutes to reboot. You either lied, logged off and back in, turned the monitor on and off, or did something else. I told you to click start, version dependent next step, and restart. You ignored me and did something else. Stop your lying and or not listening to me ways. I don't care if you don't want to reboot. It will fix your problem. Otherwise I would tell not to move so I can see the issue myself. I rarely begrudge someone for not understanding what I do. I'm sure I've said some stupid things about other areas of expertise. What I do get irked over is when it gets trivialized. I've had a couple of people who barely know me approach me with a big idea that they'd like to get off the ground. One guy wanted to make a WoW clone, more or less. He knows I write software, but no idea what I do. I work on big data systems and the like. So, to him, a programmer is a programmer. No matter that I know as much about how to make a game like WoW as I know about brain surgery, but I do know enough to know that one programmer who is not even tangentially related to the end product in expertise is probably not going to get the job done. He had no clue what making a game like that entailed. I think he figured that Blizzard was run by 4 guys in a garage or something. Another guy has a brilliant idea for a website. Hint, it's a crappy idea. Hilariously crappy. He has no business experience, no development experience, no marketing experience, but he tells me the classic line, I'll give you 10, number 5% ownership. Ownership in what? Your pipe dreams? And then I tell him no thanks, and it's always the same. You have no idea what you're missing out on. Oh, but I do, and I'm not really missing much. People have no clue how much work goes into the stuff they use. They figure that, since Google is only a logo and a single text box, it should be super duper easy to create that part. I don't need the maps created at first, we just need a search engine, and we can make one that's better than Google. Once it's running, we'll start working on a map thing. Another actual line I've been pitched, right? Because nobody is trying to do that right now. Search Bing for Google alternatives and let me know what you find. You know, besides irony, the idea guy is the most useless person out there. If all you have is an idea, and you're going to pitch it to a developer, save yourself the time and just ask him to say no thanks to you in advance. Anyone who agrees won't be competent. Anyone who is competent won't agree. I was contacted as a freelance web developer once around 2008 or so to build me the MySpace of poker. It was going to pay a whopping $5,000. Been in IT for longer than I care to admit, but my absolute favorite. A coworker came to look over my shoulder while I was working on an application. She looked at my browser and said, "Why does that say Mozilla Firefox?" "Because I'm using the Firefox browser." "Mine doesn't say that. You may not be using the Firefox browser." She goes back to her desk and calls me. "It says Internet Explorer." "That because you are using Internet Explorer. Make it go away." "What? Make it go away? Make what go away?" "I don't want it to say Internet Explorer on my machine and I don't want it to say Mozilla Firefox on your machine. Make it go away." Should have said okay and turned off both computers. Did you really just tell me to turn it off and on again? I hope you're making a joke and referencing the IT crowd. Yes, your computer missed the group policy update and you need to log out and back in. Shut up and let me do my job. Tell them they need to power cycle the CPU, or that they need to make sure the power plug isn't corroded, but they need to properly turn off the computer so they don't lose all of their information. Have them inspect the plug for a good 30 seconds to make sure there is absolutely no corrosion and it is making good contact. Customer, I changed my password and can't use my computer anymore. Me, okay, I can probably reset it. Do you know what operating system you're using? Customer, blank stare. Me, some OSs are easier to reset than others. I need to know what OS you're using. Customer, enthusiastically, I'm on the Comcast Internet Pipeline operating system. Me, awesome. That's actually your internet provider. When you turn on your computer, what does the screen look like? Customer, blank stare. Me, does it say Windows 98, Windows ME, Windows XP, Windows 2000, Windows Vista or Windows 7? Wait, is it even a Microsoft product or are you using a Mac? Customer, of course it's not a Mac, silly. I don't have the money for a Mac. Me, so what operating system is running? Customer, blank stare. Me, never mind. Just bring your computer in. It's going to be $200. Then they bring it in and lo and behold it is a Mac. It's not really something they told me, but the act of washing your hands in pizza grease, then touching every part of my screen. I have a very simple rule. Do not touch my monitor. If you must point at something on my screen, use the eraser end of a pencil. No touchy. I have a printer with a USB cable coming out of it and a USB port in my computer. How do I plug it in? I think a part of me died a little bit. What do you even do here? Then when I told her I had to wait for the vendor to contact me back after they looked at the issue, I calmly said, I make sure you can do your job. Then I just walked out of her office. Most TUs have no idea their programs are from a specific vendor who is the go-to source when crap hits the fan. Like today, you can't win every once in a while, you have those small victories. Someone has a problem, you remote into their workstation. It's something easy, you click through a few menus quickly and some screens which look impressive because of all the numbers and tech jargon, then presto they think you are a hero. But a lot of this job is waiting. Waiting for when you are needed if you don't have anything else which needs to be done, or in a panic when things go wrong. It's extremely stressful. It's either why are we paying him if all he seems to do is sit around, or why are we paying him if these things go down? You are damned if you do and damned if you don't. It's broken. Why is it that clients are always so vague? Just because you mistyped an email address, didn't plug it in, chose the wrong printer doesn't mean your computer is broken. Also, check out Artalis from tech support. My memory stick comes up as FAT32. Does that mean I've got too much stuff on it? Is it saying it's too fat? True freaking story. Most times when someone sees me doing something in the command prompt terminal for any reason, I'm hacking. No, I'm not hacking. I'm updating my software. No, I'm not hacking. I'm talking on Ike. Dude, I didn't have a computer of my own for a while, so I would use the one at the local library. I used PuTTY a lot, and more than 3 times I was told on, and one of the library workers asked me just what I was up to. One time the cops even came. I had so much rage with literally no outlet. It was maddening. Now I'm back home and can PuTTY all I want. Friend going to college for computer science, needed a new laptop. We were having a conversation about what to download first. Me, you should definitely get Chrome or something similar as the very first thing. I use IE. I don't like those other ones. They give you viruses. She got a virus within a week on her brand new laptop. Going to college for computer sciences. I couldn't fassap him hard enough. IE is flawed, but still she probably would have gotten a virus on any other browser as well. Firefox and Chrome can also be hijacked by idiots clicking certain Facebook ads when they don't have no script or something loaded as well. I work in a call center. Outside of work, I am as IT as you can get, fixing computers, whatnot. My day job is dealing with calls about people's accounts at a credit union. I enjoy it for the most part, aside from the fact that we have to tell our members about services that we offer, and we have to refer 10% of our calls. So, this one girl calls, check the date of birth, and she is 19, calling for her balance. The first thing I do is ask if she uses our online banking, as I get a referral and she is young enough not to use the excuse of not knowing how. So she responds, number. Well, I don't know. I mean, I look at my balances on my phone but I never go online. Frustration intensifies. My boss giving me crap for pressing the X on a window, saying that it doesn't properly shut down the program, and that I had to click file exit. Sure, there are programs that just minimizes to the tray, but this was Internet Explorer 6. When I sit down at a user's machine to put my talent and years of training and experience to work, and they say when you're done playing with it, let me know so I can get some real work done on a computer that they need to do their job, they screwed up with their quest for pretty wallpapers or cute animated mouse pointers or great deals on vacations or fortunes from Nigerian princes or whatever. Co-worker, why are you just standing around drinking coffee? The internet is down. Why aren't you fixing it? Me, that's not my job. I develop and manage our websites. Co-worker, exactly, you're in charge of the internet, so fix the internet. I find things other so-called techies say are more enraging. However, a few years ago, I had a client that wanted her PC cleaned up. In the end I installed MSE and MBAM and configured it. Few months later I get an email from her she might have a virus and for me to check into it. I remote in and see MSE is gone and Symantec AV is installed. I asked why she removed MSE and bought Symantec. She started her answer with, well, I felt. I just stopped listening to her feelings reason. Soldiered on. Fixed her problem and sent her a bill. TLDR. Some people don't think they get a good product unless they pay for it. I've seen this in different areas of business. Some people don't think they get a good product unless they pay for it. I've been told countless times how GNU Linux is a rip-off Windows for hackers and criminals. Because you don't pay for it. I was on my grandpa's computer trying to find the website for my W2S and I couldn't remember the name of the website. He took the computer from me thinking he could type the website incorrectly and I said never mind. Just Google the company name and he gets pissed off and says I'm sick of people telling me to use Google, I don't freaking have Google. A few years ago, my mouse isn't working. Me, let's try unplugging it and plugging it back in. What shape is the part that plugs into the computer by the way? Round or rectangle? How do you tell the difference? Me, the shape. I'm not IT, and it wasn't enraging, but my mother called me once from her new iPhone 4S and said I can't get the phone to stop playing music. The only reason it stopped is that I've called you. Help me. Press pause mom. It was more funny than anything. Not being told this directly, but you can tell by how they interact with you. Lack of any desire to learn. It seems people are just more than willing to give up when it comes to their computer, not wanting to give any problem a moment's thought. I work IT at a hospital and there's one nurse who is computer illiterate and proud of it, telling her that willful ignorance is not something to be proud of hasn't quite worked yet. 1. Those that hover over my shoulder asking questions that only slow me down. What's that? Why do you do that? How does that work? What are you doing honestly? I don't even mind being asked questions 99% of the time. What irks me are the people that have 50 million irrelevant questions that actually slow down my progress and interrupt my train of thought. If you want me to train you on how to do my job, you're getting an invoice that has a line item for X hours of training at $1,500 an hour. 2. Those people that used to be in IT years ago and somehow feel that makes them the experts. You were in IT. You've been out for 20 years. I've been doing this for the PST 15 years. I'm the dang expert, quit telling me how to do my job. You're wrong. Sit down and let me get you back to doing what you're the expert at now, which is not IT. Point 1. I can't stand hearing people's theories about what's wrong with the computer because if it's way off and I just say, no that couldn't possibly be it, they're like, no but I really think it is. And I'm like no the time date settings on your computer aren't affecting whether you can stream TED. Oh my god. After a hard drive failure, the person calls me. Note, I'm a developer with little know-how on hardware stuff. Tells me that she lost all of her data, wants me to get that thingy repaired, because she needs the data on that disk. I told her that a professional data recovery from a failed hard drive is very expensive. But you know how to do that, right? No, I am not a freaking magician. Sure, I can call them. Still expensive. I actually found this really funny, not enraging. However it was still idiotic. I help support a network-based application for medical professionals and an office lady's internet was down and she called support irate. Our latest update to her office broke the Google. Laughs were had by all even though she was P. There are so many annoying things that users do. Emailing with simply my insert device software name is broken. Please try to elaborate. Explain what you are doing and what happens. It is a complete waste of my time to have to probe you for information like you're 5 years old. On the same vein they complain that the problem hasn't been resolved, but they never responded to your attempts to get more information. Walk into my office, stand there for 5 minutes while I'm on the phone with someone else because they just couldn't wait and their problem is incredibly important. It is a distraction to the problem I'm working on and unfair to all the other users who submitted their questions and issue correctly. 9 out of 10 times it is not an emergent issue that needs my attention immediately. Company board, sorry, we don't have any money to spend on that. We really need to replace machines that are broken beyond repair. Meanwhile, they have enough money to buy water columns for the waiting room that bubble up constantly. It is to the point that I am telling people to complain to the doctors on the board. Constant due date for projects that just aren't possible. Opening multiple new offices at the same time for a 3-person department, while also still being responsible for other projects and daily help desk support. They demo new software that clearly won't work, then buy it and tell us to make it work. They get upset when we can't deliver that or it takes a while. Just had a user come in my office to ask me to order her a new headset for her phone. I told her she would need to speak to finance. But while discussing it, she explains further. People she is on the phone with consistently cannot hear her and she ends up yelling so they can. So I tell her, why don't you bring it here first and see if we can't fix it. She gets the headset and I'm able to determine it is the voice tube. In the end it is solved. No extra money spent. I don't understand why she wouldn't just let me know she was having an issue. I consistently have users that will not call or email to let us know about their issues. They will do one of two things. Wait until I happen to be at their location, which I've only left enough time for the issue that I came for, or wait until it has thoroughly upset them and send me an email with expletives complaining about the issue. They do not explain the problem, just complain. As an IT person, I can understand that not everyone has level of knowledge about electronics that I do. When I've explained the simple thing to you multiple times, that's when I get upset. I shouldn't have to show you how to attach something to your email every single time you are doing it. Either take a note or Google it at that point. I'm not your personal IT professional. I support an entire company of people who have issues. Yes, your simple thing comes across as a waste of my time. Downvotes if you like. I'm done. Hug. I am not an IT tech, but the librarians in my town will tell people the computers are slow because, for example, too many people are using Google, Yahoo, whatever, and that using Internet Explorer was best to use because you wouldn't get any viruses. This was 2009 and the computers were running Windows 98. When they submit a work order to upgrade their CPU because Netflix doesn't stream that well when they are in a hotel room, the list goes on equals. A customer told me that their plasma TV screen had cracked. So they smeared it with petroleum jelly to keep all the plasma gas from escaping. I just had a customer email and call me in a panic. He couldn't open a document and was about to lose an order. Over the phone I helped him download Adobe Reader. He was so happy. The contract was saved, as long as he got it printed and signed and scanned and emailed. Then his printer wouldn't work. I said I would talk him through it or I could drive down and hook it up for him. To which he replied, "No, it's okay. It will work sometime." He was so worried. A $20,000 contract in the balance, and he just tells me not to worry about helping him. I have questions about his sanity. Hopefully light side on this one. Maybe there was important information in the document he needed to read, and getting it up on the screen was good enough. Printing was, and it would be nice if item. Work order stated computer will not turn on. Drove to the edge of our school district 30 minutes one way, walked into the room, turned on the monitor and it was working fine. Turns out this Sarah Palin looking lady didn't know you had to turn the monitor on. She was like 50. She immediately started making excuses about how she's used to chalkboards next. She goes on to say she has a machine at her house and does use it, but has never had to turn it on herself. She gets her kids or husband to do it. It pee me off because she's teaching children and clearly had no critical thinking skills. Company owner tried to save money on a new machine by not getting a mouse, because this is a business machine. It's not for games. Also, when showing me how to open his accounting program by pressing start, programs, etc, I explained I could simply put a shortcut on the desktop. He explained that it was their busy season and he didn't want to make any major system changes. He was also using dial-up AOL. This was 2011. I work at the help desk at my school as a student worker. I had a professor call insisting that her computer upgraded Windows Office 2003 to Office 2011 by opening a document that was made on Office 2011. Not something they told us, but something they did. An intern was asked to bring copies from the copy machine to a conference room where a meeting was in progress. Simple, right? No. This freaking guy unplugs the machine and wheels the whole machine to the conference room. One particular web app at my university does not work in Safari. It hasn't been fixed by the devs, so when people call in about it I have them install Chrome. I had a woman, nurse, refuse to install Google Chrome and claim I was trying to give her a virus. She was adamant that I was going to fry her hard drive and that her favorites in Safari took years to save, so she will lose everything she has ever done. I politely tried to explain everything to her in the simplest of terms for 15 minutes, but she refused to even try to understand anything I was telling her. She never installed Chrome. Fix my mouse. What's wrong with it? It's not working. Can you give me more information? I just bought this wireless mouse and it's not showing up on the screen. Okay, I'll need the wireless dongle and the mouse to do some troubleshooting for you. Wireless what? Dongle? Yay. I don't know what that is. It's the little USB key that comes with the wireless mouse so it can connect to your computer. Oh, that? I threw that out. I thought this was a wireless mouse and I didn't need to plug in anything. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.